Press Conference, a series in which men who make the news answer impromptu questions from men who write the news. They are introduced by William Clark.
Good evening. This week, more than perhaps ever before, our thoughts are on Asia. And we have the exceptional good fortune to have in the studio tonight one of Asia's most prominent statesmen, the Prime Minister of India. Mr. Nehru, I am extremely grateful to you for coming here, and I speak on behalf of us here and on behalf of the wider public who are watching us. I'm particularly grateful as I believe this is your very first appearance on television.
Yes, this is the first time I'm facing this ordeal. In fact, I know very little about television, except what I've heard about it.
Well, I would like to introduce to you, if I may, the people who are, I hope, going to make this not such a bad ordeal after all. Sitting on my left is Kingsley Martin, the editor of the New Statesman and Nation, and beyond him is H.V. Hodson, the editor of the Sunday Times, and at the end, to ask the first question, is Donald McLaughlin, the foreign editor of The Economist.
Prime Minister, when you return to India, people will be asking you what you thought of the coronation. What are you going to tell them?
Well, I'll have to tell them a great deal, but principally that it's very impressive in many ways. The most impressive thing to me was, apart from it being a great spectacle, were the crowds here and the way they behaved. And one begins to like more and more the London crowds and their fortitude in inclement weather and their insistence on enjoying themselves whatever might happen.
But is there going to be no criticism in India of your having come to the coronation?
There was when I came, and there will be no doubt when I go back. But I don't think it will amount to much.
Mr. Nehru, we all understand very well indeed why India decided to be a republic within the Commonwealth. What I think is a remarkable thing is why there is so little resentment in India towards the British in view of our past history. It seems to us that India is a most wonderfully magnanimous country. Can you explain this remarkable phenomenon of forgiveness?
Well, partly we don't, I suppose, hate for long or intensively. But chiefly, I think, because the background that Mr. Gandhi gave us during all these past decades.
After all, you were in prison yourself 16 years, and you don't seem to have any resentment about it at all. We might almost be popular people in India. Astonishing thing, really.
I think it's a good thing for a person to go to prison for a short while.
And to be Prime Minister for 7 years. I was going to ask, looking back on those 7 years and remembering all the hopes that were expressed at the time when India gained her independence, do you feel that they have been years of satisfactory achievement, or have you disappointments, Prime Minister?
Both. I think we have certainly achieved much, and there has also been a lack of achievement. We haven't done what we wanted to do, so it's both satisfactory and unsatisfactory.
Could you elaborate that a little? What have you been disappointed in?
That's rather a big question. There are so many things in India.
Can I give you a lead about democracy and the progress of political democracy in India?
Well, generally speaking, I would say that politically we had advanced. The unity of the country, we've put an end to all the old princely states. We've had these general elections which were remarkable on a tremendous scale, and we've built up a good democratic structure. What troubles us chiefly is the economic side. I believe we have made progress. I should like the progress to be much faster.
Would you agree, Prime Minister, that Anglo-American, British Commonwealth American, if you like, agreement and concord have a very special value for the defense of our common ideals of democracy?
Yes, certainly.
And that to aim for that has a value of its own, and that it may require sometimes some compromises from our side with policies that we don't see 100% eye to eye with on the other side of the Atlantic.
But Mr. Hodgson, politicians are always compromising. They have to. But there is a tendency, if I may say so, for leading statesmen in Europe and America to look at the world from Europe and America. Well, if we look at the same world with the same principles from, let us say, Delhi or some place or Karachi, well, the world looks slightly different. Geography counts. Take the question of China. China is a distant country to most people in Europe and America. China is a country having a 2,000-mile frontier with India. Well, it's a different picture to us immediately.
Well, I certainly agree that your contribution from Asia is an invaluable one. I just wanted to suggest
that is what I say. That is the value, one of the significant features of the Commonwealth conferences, that these different viewpoints come up, maybe if you like slightly clash, but in a friendly way, I mean, and lead to a better understanding.
That, I'm afraid, is all that we have time for now tonight, Mr. Nehru. I would like to thank you on behalf of ourselves and of the public, both for the questions you've answered as Prime Minister and also a few asides from Mr. Pandit Nehru. And I would like to thank you very much indeed and to welcome you to England at any time you come and any time you wish to address us again on television. Thank you.
Thank you. I haven't found this last half hour quite so bad as I expected it to be. In fact, it has passed rather rapidly. I was surprised that it was over. Perhaps because your questions were interesting and I got involved in them. Anyhow, it has been a pleasant time and I thank you for it. And I wish those who may listen to this later on good night.